Just 3 days after Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder by TKO, Wilder has already confirmed Wilder versus Fury 3 is a go. Wilder cited his 40-pound costume as the reason he didn't have his legs under him, which ultimately cost him the heavyweight title and marks the first loss of his career. This explanation comes after Wilder said post-fight that he was upset with his corner for throwing in the towel. So, Shannon, are you buying the excuse?
Skip, even if that caused his fatigue, who the hell told him to put that costume on? That was his choice.
Yep.
You decided to do that. You decided to put on 40 pounds. Okay, Black history, I get it. You want to look like something out of the Black Panther movie. Okay, I get all that. But and then you got this mask on over your head that you got to walk, what, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet?
Quick question.
Yes.
Do you think he rehearsed with it? Do you
No.
think he came in
No.
neither?
No.
So I think this was the first try.
That's actually a good
So,
point.
and he had, and so in order to get all that on, Skip, how long had he been sitting in that outfit? But Skip, I thought early on he was doing a lot of pacing. I thought he was burning a lot of nervous energy. So this could have been, but I would have never said anything about it. I would have never mentioned that. All I would have said, hey, the better.
If you had been in his shoes.
Yes, yeah, the better man won tonight. Okay. He got me tonight. Right. You know, you have these type days. Hey, I've been on the other side 41 other times.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time to know what it's like to be on the opposite side. But did Mark Breland recommend that he put that costume on, Skip?
Not to my knowledge.
So, and now he make an excuse that it was the costume, and then he makes another excuse for Mark Breland. Skip, I would think, as accomplished as a fighter, amateur, he won a gold medal in the '84 Olympics. He was a champion. He held a belt. I would think that, and it normally, Skip, and you know this, covering sports, players tend to lean towards a coach that's played said sport. Pat Riley played. Phil Jackson played. Mike Ditka, Mike Singletary. People that have played the sport, you're like, okay, LeBron James, he loved playing for Ty Lue because what? Ty Lue played the game, even if he wasn't an all-time great. So now you got a guy that's in the corner that knows what it's like when a boxer's in trouble, that he's taking on water, basically taking on water. He's in the ropes, guys are unleashing on him, and you're throwing nothing back. Oh, I want to down my shield. That's a noble thing to say now because you, Skip, you don't want to go out as a quitter. But they just took a guy just died. Last year, alone, Skip, four boxers died. There's a reason why they also cut the fights down from 15 rounds, Skip. You remember, there used to be 15. They cut them down to 12. Skip, you still, even if they don't throw in the towel, I didn't see anything, Skip, from basically the second round on that made me thought that Deontay Wilder was even going to get that lucky punch that could possibly end it. Fury was dominating the fight, bro. You was headed for trouble. I believe you can overcome a knockout, but not a savage beating. Skip, did anybody think any less of Joe Frazier when he didn't get off the stool in the Thriller in Manila? Nobody thought less of Joe Frazier.
Well, remember, Ali didn't want to get off his stool, and Angelo Dundee pushed him off his stool.
Right, and that was the thing. But nobody thought different of Joe.
No.
You don't realize it. And Skip, sometimes we must have, and that's what a trainer's there for. Obviously, he gives you instruction, but he's there to save you from yourself. And I thought Mark Breland, but I don't like this, Skip. Just go ahead and take it like a man. You lost. Fury was the better fighter that night. He might be a better fighter. We'll see round the trilogy, Skip. But I don't like all this excuse making. Even if that was the case, if it weighed 100 pounds, you put it on, you decided to do it. Don't make that excuse. Just go ahead and wear this one, bro. I lost, but hey, round 3, we're going to do this thing again, and the outcome will be different. But I don't like all this excuse-making. I don't like all this scapegoating.
Okay. So, I hear everything you just said. Big picture. Do I give Deontay Wilder much of a shot in the trilogy fight after what I saw Saturday night? I do not.
Exactly.
Because I saw him get overwhelmed and dominated by a much bigger, much more skilled boxer/fighter.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Mismatch that we didn't see in fight number 1 to those links.
Sure.
Because it felt like in fight number 1 that Tyson Fury just tried to box, and he was probably winning the fight on points because he outboxed him for long stretches.
Right.
but he got rocked twice. And the second one looked like it should have kept him down. So we all said, aha, let's see fight number 2. And you and I leaped aboard the bandwagon that was rolling for Wilder, and we both thought he would knock out Fury. And now we are both pretty solidly convinced he has that there's no way he can change his strategy to the point, because he's not a strategist in the ring, right? So he can't fix it. I don't see the fix. I'll try this. I'll learn how to do that. I don't think so.
That's not in his game
I don't
plan.
think it's in his makeup. I don't think that's part of his repertoire. Okay, now let's go back to the 40-pound suit, or however much it weighed. Is it possible it took something out of his legs? Sure it is. Is it possible that they just sort of plunged into this, like Mark Breland should have thrown in the towel on the suit, right? That's what he should have done. That's where you could have saved it. Is it possible he just got too keyed up in the locker room, the dressing room? Yeah, like you said.
That was a lot of pacing.
He lost a lot of sweat. You know, he was just perspiring, like dripping wet when he got in the ring. Well, had a mask on, right? So was that all just a terrible idea? But his legs look so shot that it seems to me, if you're in the shape it requires to do what these men do, that just wearing that suit and walking to the ring for X minutes, if you had it on for 45 minutes, that it wouldn't just take everything out of your legs, right?
Well, Skip, here's the thing. He's not used to having that suit on for that length of time. Like you said, he just put it on right before, so he had to, it's not something, Skip, like Mike Tyson just came up with a cutout towel. You can just throw that on and just go to the ring. It took time to put this suit on.
It did.
So in the amount of time that it took to put it on, and then now I got to wait around and sit around in the suit, because think about it, Skip. When you see guys wear football helmets, and you got face masks that you can breathe through, when they call a timeout, what they got to do? Take it off?
Got it. Okay, so speaking of 40 pounds, I told you yesterday that the bigger problem to me was the almost 20 pounds he gained for this fight.
Correct.
He doesn't have the kind of frame to carry 20 extra pounds. And it defeats his attack style, because he is quick twitch with lightning in his right hand, thunderous lightning. And when you go 20 more pounds, you lost a touch of quickness, and maybe you weren't quite in the shape to carry that the way you wanted to carry it.
But Skip, what I can't understand, Skip, you knocked out 41 men. It's not like you needed the extra weight for more pop. You got dynamite in that right hand.
Okay, so your opponent who dominated you went up 16 pounds.
Right.
And I'm sure for the trilogy fight, whenever it might be, they're not sure if it's going to be pushed back into the fall, whenever.
Right.
I'll bet he'll weigh 275, and to your point, by fight time, when that bell rings, he's going to be 300. I don't know. But he's so much bigger.
Right.
I'm not saying he's stronger. He's just so much bigger and so skilled that how do you fix that? Are you going to gain 20 more pounds? No, the idea, your idea would be to go backward.
Go back.
Okay, so if you go back down to 215-ish, how can you deal with 300?
Right.
Right, I don't see the fix there, right? You're stuck.
Well, the big fix, weight aside, is the skill. What are you going to change in the way you fight that's going to give you the best opportunity to offset what this guy could do?
You gonna outbox him? I don't think so.
Because that's not his MO.
Okay, so I am going to defend him on this one. And the reason I'm going to do this is that I tweeted it in the moment. You can go back and look at my timeline. I did not think he was hurt as badly as you and some others think he was hurt, or in as big a trouble. And again, forgive me for this, but I have covered boxing since some early Ali fights. And I just accept it for the brutal sport it can be. And I don't want to see anybody die, but Tyson Fury doesn't have the kind of punching power that Wilder has.
Right.
So to my eye, it wasn't doing quite the damage that everybody else was leaping to the conclusion of. That's just me.
Right. Skip, he doesn't have the one punch.
No, not the one punch.
But when it started happening, he started putting them punches together, and there was nothing coming back.
Okay, so he's arguing that he said, I had my thoughts in my mind, meaning I had my senses. And when he spoke, remember, he spoke immediately in the ring.
Right.
And he sounded pretty
Yeah.
okay to
Right.
me.
Yes.
He seemed to know it. He started
Surprised.
making excuses immediately.
Yeah, I did.
And everybody leaped to the conclusion he had a busted eardrum. He got 7 stitches in his left ear because it got cut. Okay. And then he went into a lot more excuse making, but he did get hit in the back of the head, and technically it's an illegal punch. We're not going to say that's why the fight was lost.
Right.
But he did get hit behind the ear.
Right.
And he did get elbowed, and he did get a little bit sucker punched because finally, my man Kenny Bayless said in the 5th round, because he tried to break a clinch, and Tyson rocked him,
Yeah.
you know, snuck one in,
Right.
and he docked him a point
Right.
over it because he is a gray area fighter. And it felt to me like Wilder was the bully who got bullied with a lot of gray area stuff like, you're doing this to me. Kenny Bayless was telling me before the fight, don't you dare do this, don't you dare do
Right.
And then he's the one who got bullied by the other guy.
Right.
Okay? So are all those legitimate points? Yeah, they're legitimate
Right.
points. So now there's at least one report that Mark Breland has been dismissed.
Right.
And that is because the 2 co-trainers were arguing against throwing in the towel.
Right.
And Mark Breland's sort of 3rd in command
Right.
in the corner.
Right.
And again, he's probably by far the most qualified. I
Thank
give
you.
you that. I give you that. But he throws in the towel. And to this moment now, Deontay Wilder is saying, for Mark to do it, it just broke my heart. Because he's saying, I do have, you know, my pride is my everything. And he says, I am never out of a fight, no matter what the circumstances, because when you have power like I have, you still have a chance.
But-
now, you hadn't seen one instance
Yes.
of it. I got it. I got it.
It's like money. What good is money if you can't spend it? What good is power if you can't use it? Skip, what from the 2nd round on, Skip,